this is how you start in Rivals. So first, I'm actually going to get a private server to show this off better. Even though you don't really have to, you can use some other stuff. But so if you join here, one of the first things that you should do when you start playing Rivals is, like, first I'd play a game, see how it works, but then also go to like the shooting range or something. Because you're gonna start out with an assault rifle, a handgun, fists, and a grenade. Something that you can do with a grenade that can help you when you're starting out. It will be kind of hard for people that are more starting out. So if you have an open patch of land, I can probably go somewhere around there. If you do this, wait till it starts coming back and go like that, you can travel really far and then like scope in or something and like that. Except another thing that could help when you're starting out is crosshair. That's the thing in the middle of your screen. I have this one with the green circle, the red outlines, and the green middle. Like that can help like see like where you're aiming. And then it can help. I mean, you're still gonna miss shots. It's not gonna be like guaranteed to like, like make you hit every shot. Except it'll help, because if you like have if you don't even have a crosshair, you're using like an assault rifle, that's gonna be hard to use. And another thing is, since you start out with like an assault, like mostly longer range weapons, I mean there are fists. And on fists, you can double jump, which is helpful by just pressing the space bar twice. Or, I guess if you're on mobile, pressing the jump button twice. And so, because grenade, you throw that, and, and for handgun, you shoot that, and for assault rifle, you also shoot that. I would recommend, like, and if the other person is using a more close-ranged weapon, like a melee, like a knife, katana, scythe, something like that. So, like, let's say that's the person, like, kind of stay back. Stay back. Shoot them from a distance. I mean, they're obviously not going to be standing still. But another thing is sliding. Sliding can help a lot. Because if, like, someone's shooting at you, if you slide, you could dodge it, and it's faster. Another thing you can do when you slide, if you cancel it out by pressing the jump button, you can move pretty fast across the map and then, like, start shooting people. Which is pretty helpful when you're playing Rivals. Because a big part of Rivals is movement. And then there are also some like really cheap weapons. One of them is, I believe, the spray. Where is that? That is only 5 keys. So like, and it's actually pretty good. So if you complete some quests and stuff, if you hit in the head, it'll only take 15 bullets. But that, or just like, and it's even pretty good long distance. But if you do like save up a bunch of keys and then end up buying like shotgun, I'm just gonna put some other random weapons. Using shotgun, something that you should not do is try and shoot people from a distance with a shotgun that does no damage. Instead, you should, opposite from the assault rifle, like a sniper or a long-range weapon, you should try and get closer to them because it does lots of damage. When I say lots, I mean lots. Like, if you come up to this guy and shoot him, that's half of his health after one shot. It doesn't even have to be a headshot. If you do hit a headshot, I mean, it's still a 2-shot, but it's way, like, then you could finish him off with some other weapon. And then one other thing that is pretty helpful in the game is You don't have to use permafrost because that's like you have to buy it with a Robux, or you can save up a bunch of keys and buy it. But so let's say that you were just using like assault rifle and you have to have shorty, whatever you want for melee. I'd usually use knife and freeze ray. If you have permafrost, great, then that's going to help a lot because that can have you freeze a bunch of times. But so if you see them and you manage to get it off and freeze them, you can literally just shorty them. It doesn't matter if they're in the ice because once you shoot them once, it'll break the ice. And then you do it again because it'll do half the damage. But shorty headshot does 112.5. Half of that is like around 60-ish. So still even that much damage. And then with the 120 is way more than 150. So that's also a pretty good strategy. So if you just put a bunch of things together, and also if you use knife, this is a very helpful strategy for a lot of people. Don't try and like run behind them and go like this. It'll take a very long time to knife someone like that. Something you should do is like if they're kind of behind you, slide backwards. So, like press the slide button while going backwards, and you'll slide backwards. And then try and go into the person and do the backstab button. It doesn't matter if you can press it a little later. I recommend like pretty much a little after you slide. That would probably be the best. So like if I'm trying to get this guy right now, that's I got him. It's just like that would be a more efficient way to use the knife compared to if you were doing something else. And also something that I've been doing right now for a while is hitting the targets. So that's the normal target right there. And this target is different. This is like an X. What you can actually do, so if you break enough of those X targets, they'll look different than these. These are the normal ones. The X ones, as you saw, look different. There will be a room. I can't remember if it's I think it's either over. No, it's over here. There will be a room right over here by this yellow guy that opens up, and then you can fight a boss. Pretty sure Nazi boss is easier, but they're still all pretty hard. It's not like they're easy. But so that's pretty much all you need to know starting. Once you get more experience, then you can do some other stuff. Like there's something called a trowel jump. Like if you have like sniper and some other stuff, and you use the trowel, you can actually boost yourself very far in the air and like snipe someone. So if you run into it and try and land on like this crevice and hit it, you can go flying. Sometimes it might not be the best, but then you can still like, for example, I'm gonna do the trowel jump right over here. Like I'm gonna do it right here. Let's say we're on a map and I'm doing it right here. If I do it well, then while I'm falling from the air, I can shoot at something. Because like let's say you're like, oh shoot, you're in that. First you can use this as a wall, and then run, do it, and then get a really big height advantage and snipe them, which is very helpful if the person, especially if they're using a closer range weapon, because if someone's using like a shotgun and you go like this, that's gonna do like no damage, and then you can just shoot them. And there's some guns that you can, Exogun is one of them, where they have splash. See, because I'm not shooting it at him, but the explosion is still hitting him. Like RPG is one. I mean, I don't recommend spamming RPG. You might get reported. I don't like when people use RPG, like spam it. It drives me nuts. But that's something that you could do, like, mostly when you're starting. If you're like a level 120 and you're using RPG, that's honestly embarrassing. Or like, well, you can use RPG for like movement or something, but if you're using it as a main weapon, that's embarrassing. You should not be doing that. And then people might think that you're like cheating or something. There are a bunch of weapons that can give you like a double jump or movement boost. There's bow, daggers, fists, and then another movement thing would be Warhorn. It speeds you up, or you can use grenade to like do a jump boost, like I showed in the beginning of the video. So Warhorn, it just speeds everything up. You go way faster. Bow, you can obviously like spam it, or if you can charge it up. And then if you hit someone, it does way more damage than it would normally. So this is a normal shot to that. 60. This is a charged up shot to that. 120. It will. So if you did it at 100%, I think it would still be like around. Actually, that makes no sense. 125 would be pretty much. So it would be 60, but then adding 25%, so it'd be 75. But so that would be, well, that's 30, that's 60. So yes, 75 if you did 125. Hold on. Okay, it is. But also if you wait, you do 100. Okay, it is pretty accurate. Or if you do 150. Okay. It is pretty accurate, and then you can also use bow to double jump. You can use daggers to double jump, and they're actually pretty good because they throw 2 at once. And like if you hit people on the head, and this could be a close ranged or a long range weapon. Not too long range, not like sniper, but there's not really any bullet drop until it's going like really. Honestly, I don't even think there is bullet drop. Bullet drop is like when you throw it, like if you go like that. Because slingshot has a bunch of bullet drop. Because here, let me show you what I mean. So like if I were to shoot it, it goes down to the ground really quick. Like, see, it goes like down to the ground really, really fast. So the slingshot is a good weapon because you can like, because it bounces off the walls and it can do more damage. So one bullet could hit the person like 3 times. So it could do 24 damage. So it is pretty good. Now my slingshot is glitched. I don't know. Okay, my bow is glitched as well. So that is it for today. I'm trying to show you a way to start Rivals. Well, some are more difficult games, but others can be pretty easy. And they can help you in games a lot. Okay, there we go. Okay, now it's not glitched. My game was weird. But so if you use those things, you will definitely be a better Rivals player than you were before. That's it. Oh, I missed. Hold on. And that's it.